Hello, hunters. Welcome to the Linen Closet. Thanks for joining me today. Whisky Hunter here. Before I get into the hunt and what we're going to review and taste today, I want to talk about rating bottles. You know, I really enjoy watching other people's reviews. And I notice when some people rate bottles, they may give it an 89, a 90, a 91, and I'm thinking, well, that's about an 80 to me, or 81 or 79. And as I watch more of them, it's so subjective and based on experiences. And I know that some of these folks that are rating bottles 90, around 90s, that I see as 80s, I think as their experiences mature and they taste more, that ratings drop. You know, I started on Royal Salute 21 year into my orientation into whiskey, and then from there I never really got into young single malts. 10 years, 12 years, 15 years, I figured, oh, 21 years, I better stick around that age or older. So as I matured more in my palate, it was with older whiskey. So when I try a 12-year or 10-year or 15-year, for the most part, I rate them much lower, and I don't typically buy them because my experiences were with older whiskeys. So I just find it interesting that, you know, what I rate now is much lower than some other people rate, and yet there are others with more experience than me that I rate something high and they drop it a little lower because of their experiences. So it's interesting in that aspect, and to keep that in mind, that it's so subjective, and what one person likes another person may not like, and it's all relative to experience. And that goes for when you're nosing and when you're tasting and different flavors you get, and that's based on what you've tasted in your lifetime and smelled in your lifetime, and childhood experiences where you may smell leather in an old whiskey and it's off-putting because you have a memory as a child of something that happened, that there was a leather chair, and who knows, it didn't go well. Yet another person remembers sitting on their grandfather's lap in that leather chair and the smell of the old leather, and it elicits memories that are very fond. Some people don't even remember the particular memories, but they just know it makes them feel real good. So as I was watching reviews the last few days, I started thinking about that and want to share that with you. Let's get on to the hunt. So I got this bottle last week, or maybe 2 weeks ago. There's a website called Bottle Spot, and I don't know if it's bottle-spot. You can Google it and find it, and people sell bottles from all over the country. Well, the United States, I don't know about other countries on there. And anyway, I found a bottle and started talking to the guy, and ended up hooking up with him on Facebook so I can get a little more credibility with him, and with who he may know that I know. And I finally felt comfortable enough with him. But the bottle he offered, he was asking quite a bit. And he sent me some pictures. And in the picture, on the bottom of the bottle, I noticed a lot of particulates. Now, I know that's sediment from being a non-chill filtered. This is non-chill filtered, no color added whiskey, and that sediment is good. It's like cigars and plume or bloom, which is like a white powdered sugar substance that the wrapper of a cigar takes on after being aged a long time. It's a good thing. The wrapper gets oily, and that powder shows that you've taken care and aged that well. That's a very appealing thing to find. Same with sediment. It's the fats, the particulates that are not filtered out, that settle from being in the cask so long into the bottle. And it's a good thing to find that. Well, he thought it might be bad. I didn't want to correct him. So therefore, I was able to really get a special deal on this. And let me show you the bottle. So one of my favorite distillers, as you probably know by now, is Highland Park. This is the 30 year, right? Highland Park 30 year. This is the one of the best whiskeys you're going to try out there. Let me show you this. It's got really heavy brass closure on it. Comes with a little book on it, 30-year. An exemplary Highland Park, as it says on the back. This is the bottle, sits in this box. This slides out here. And I just want to show you this color. Here's the interior of the box. Nice presentation. This is the Highland Park 30. Beautiful color. No color added. Now this bottle is 48.1 ABV. This is a 2006-2007 bottling. The newer bottles from 2000 and up, I believe, are lower ABV, 45 point something. So this higher ABV is sought out. It's very rare to find this in a store anymore. This is 750 mil, not 700. So in any case, the sediment, you may be able to see that on the bottom. Let me see. I may have gotten rid of it when no, there's still some. Let's see. I can't tell if you can see that right now on camera, but that sediment allowed me to say, hey, maybe it's not that good, the whiskey. And so he said, well, let me talk to my partner and maybe we can work something. And he did. And so this bottle, though not cheap, right? You're not going to get a 30-year-old Highland Park cheap. Come on, bottle. So in any case, I was able to obtain this bottle for $500 shipped. That's about what a 25 year is going for. Yes, it's a lot of money for a bottle. I'm very fortunate that I've saved up for this and sold somebody, a friend, another bottle, a bourbon that I wasn't really interested in, so it helped offset the cost of that. But $500, 2006, 2007, 30-year-old Highland Park. Crazy. Can't wait to try it. Let's go on to our tasting. This has been sitting probably 40 minutes. That tells you something right there. The color of this. I'm not going to tell you what this is yet. Guess. This is non-chill filtered natural color. Look at that. That's a burned orange, dark mahogany burned orange. It's beautiful. Not telling you what this is yet. Let's look at the legs on this. All right. So here's the legs. You can see that they're barely forming. They're just sitting there. You see the line. They're not even coming down yet. There's a few that have dropped down. This is telling me this is going to be one hell of a chewy whiskey with some age on it. This is a viscous whiskey. Let's talk about what it is. Oh, I don't have the bottle here. Well, I'm out. This is my last pour of this. So this is a Springbank. It's from the independent bottler Chieftains. It's a 1972 distilled whiskey, bottled in 2002. So it's a 30-year-old Springbank, 57.8% ABV in a sherry butt. Cask number 410 and 576 total bottles. I am searching for another bottle of this. Evidently, I've had it before. Someone I talked to in my whiskey group on Facebook recently had some of this and said it was the best whiskey he has ever tasted. So it prompted me to pull out the sample bottle I put away and finish this off. There's no more I have after this. The legs just go on for days. It's just unbelievable. It's just sticky, sticky, sticky. Let's nose it. Oh my God. Oh my Lord. Well, 57.8% ABV. The high ABV is hiding behind what your senses are picking up, and that is firstly sweet candied orange. Oh wow. Sweet candied orange slices, orchard fruits, oh, it's very sweet. There's like a caramelized sugar or caramelized butter, cocoa, dark chocolate, toffee, baking spices, cinnamon, butterscotch. I said toffee, I believe. Behind all that is some smoke. It's, 30 years in a cask. And 1972 is considered one of the best years for distillation of whiskey, whether it's mothballed and gone distillers like Port Ellen and Brora, Glenlivet. There's many from any of the 70s are great, but 72 in particular produced some amazing drams. You really get no alcohol burn whatsoever, yet this is cask strength, 30 years in a cask at 57%. It's really amazing. Onto the palate. I can't talk. Well, I've said this before about some whiskeys. It dances on your tongue, dances in your mouth, like pop rocks, explosions going off. Paxaret Sherry. I've talked about Paxaret before. It was outlawed in 1989. It's what adds a lot of the punch into sherry casks, and this is a sherry butt. My blog, which is listed in my comments below, you can click on it, and I've got a blog. I do a Paxaret and what it is and how it was used, and check it out. But Paxaret Sherry, old books that's associated with old whiskey. Toasted almonds. It's mouth coating. It's watering. It hasn't really dried my mouth out. It's just continuing to water. Now that we've acclimated, I'm not going to put water in this. I've had it numerous times. It's my last of it. I don't want to touch it with any water. I want to enjoy it the way it was meant to be by the master distiller. As I said, now that we're acclimated, let's take our second sip and see what we discover. Now it's drying. So the gums are drying right now. It sucked the moisture out of my gums, but I can feel the watering coming on. This is so good. It's chewy. Like I said, you want to just chew this. There's marzipan. It's buttery. Think of a high grade fudge, a buttered fudge. Your orchard fruits, your pears, peaches, tangerine. There's plums, which you pick up with sherry a lot of times. The figs, dark cherries, fried pineapples, the cinnamon. There's that hint of smoke, but it's totally subdued from so many years in the cask. I don't get, there's a funk you typically get with Springbank. It's been funked out. I'm not picking up much funk, but everything else is so prevalent. What an outstanding dram. Salute. Wow. And there is some saltiness. That's the remnants of the cask. Of course, there's no salt in whiskey. The finish continues to, your mouth continues to water. Slurring, there's so much saliva in my mouth. Hershey Kisses. Dark cherries. It just keeps on giving and goes on and on. Sweetness. Oh, you know, I'm going to cover this, and the rest of this evening, because it's early evening here, I'm going to nose this throughout the rest of the evening. The empty glass. It's that good. It's not often you have a chance to try and enjoy something that old, and it really needs to be savored. This is a whiskey you could spend a couple hours with, and over an hour time of just nosing it, you'd continue to pick up different aromatics. And the same with your palate. It deserves the time because it spent the time in the cask. I'm going to rate this, and I was talking about ratings earlier. I'm going to rate this a 96. It's pretty high up there. It's an unbelievable dram. I suppose, I mean, I don't see how anybody could rate something like this lower, even if you're newer at tasting whiskey. It's just so outstanding. Springbank 30-year, 1972 Chieftains, 57.8% ABV, sherry butt, cask 410, 576 bottles. If you can find it, and you can't afford it, but you can find it, let me know. Leave a comment below, because I would love to find another bottle. Hey, thanks for joining me in the linen closet. If you enjoyed this review and you haven't subscribed, please do. Please like and share with your friends. As I mentioned below, I have a blog link below where you can see what I talk about on the Paxarette, which I've tasted the first thing, and the impact of the sherry here. Instagram and Twitter are down there. You can see pictures and stuff I tweet about. And that's it. That's all I got for you today. We're off the tequila and back on the whiskey. Thanks for joining me. Can't wait to show you what I'm going to try next time. I'll tell you what I'm going to try next time. I'm going to have I believe, and I have it, I'm not I think I'm going to try this. It's a Lafroig 32 year. I know, crazy, crazy whiskeys. Hey, again, thanks for joining me. I really appreciate you guys sharing this experience with me. I will see you next time in the linen closet. Take care now.